Something we talked about previously was to make sure that when you're looking at a house, especially if she staged it, it's going to look beautiful. You're not going to look at anything else, but make sure you keep in mind their home inspection, because you want to see what's behind all the beauty.
Yes,
because sometimes
important.
It could be masking something. Like a hole in the wall, or a leak that was never fixed, or a leak that's in process that they're hiding.
Exactly.
Those type of things. One other thing I wanted to ask about was, we mentioned it before, when a buyer buys a house and they move in, and nowadays sellers don't have to rehab homes to get them to sell. They don't have to fix them up. They don't have to update the kitchen or the bath or anything like that. They don't have to neutralize the paint. Because they're selling, because there's not that many houses on the market. So people are buying stuff today where they got to go in and now they got to work. They got to rip up the carpet because it's been stained. They got to repaint because it's got some crazy colors, or every wall is a different color or something, or it's just not to their liking. The kitchen hasn't been updated in 20 years, and the bathroom hasn't been updated in 40 years. And that's kind of where buyers are walking in now. You get this house, you pay over $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 over market, but then you also have to come in now and you have to update it to your liking. So I had mentioned to her, I know like in certain cities, especially Detroit and Redford, they got those chartreuse, not really, but feels like it, pink and green and powder blue.
Yes, exactly.
And the first thing people want to do is go in and tear it out, because they want to put this new subway tile in there, because that's
the thing.
Yep, subway tile, diagonal, straight, up and down.
They can work around that. They can actually do, with the professional materials and paint, they can actually go in and paint it. They can paint it. I mean, I have been in several places of my own, actually, where I went in and painted the tile. My ex-husband, he would say, "What have you done now?" He smelled paint coming in the front door. I would have used the right materials now. You can't just use anything. Don't do that. But I painted the surround of the fireplace, which was tiled in white.
Okay.
And I went in and I did that in a metallic pewter. So I used the right materials so it wouldn't burn up the place. But it was beautiful. And he was like, "Oh my goodness." Or I paint a wall black. It's like, but I could do that. That was my house.
Right.
And he was like, "Wow, who would do that but me?"
Right.
Yeah. So I'm used to just taking what's there and, bringing it and updating it and making it look like it's, like I said, taking it into, make it a home and changing it just enough to make it look good. And you don't have to ever pull out tile unless you want to, or you can afford that.
Right.
But you can just always use a glaze, and the right glaze that is fireproof and everything else, but use, or waterproof in a bathroom. Go in and just make it refreshed and new.
And see, and that's what sometimes, especially in this market, because the cost of labor for construction workers is astronomical. Drywall, screws, everything. The prices are up. So it's a little bit disheartening for some buyers to move in unless you have that already set aside to not only buy that house, but you got your down payment, and then if you're paying above asking, then you're coming out of your pocket, because that's your money. Another $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 cash out of your savings, and then you move into this house, and now you got all of this other stuff you want to do to make it feel like a home.
Yes.
And sometimes you've maxed yourself out, but you want it all done now because you want to feel like a home now.
Yes.
Not next year or the year after that. So there's some minor things that you could probably do to make it feel like a home before you get to the place where you can then do the rehab if you wanted to.
Yes, full rehab.
Like I've seen this question I've always thought about. People with the kitchen countertops, you have the Formica. They have this type of paint that it makes it look like it's marble, and it makes it.
They have that.
With the proper materials.
Yes, exactly. You have to use the proper materials. And before you can afford the, the quartz or anything else, you can do, make do in the meantime and use the paint use another Formica covering. You can cover it again, and it's a lot less expensive. So yeah, there are other options for all of that. I mean, even like if you have, I remember one home where it was some of the floors were refinished, and some were, like the bedrooms weren't, and paint the floors. I mean, you're going to refinish them one day anyway. Right. But in the meantime, if they're really bad, just paint the floors. Paint the floors. I had one room that was black. I painted the floors black. It kind of disappears. No one ever even thinks about it because you just paint it. It's just like, it's just paint. And when you're ready and have the financial availability to actually do something different and pull it and really strip it, then do that. But you can paint the floors. You can paint anything with the right materials.
Yeah, with the right materials.
With the right materials.
It's like in your bathroom, it has to be waterproof.
Yes.
Around your fireplace, it has to be fire retardant.
Yes.
And kitchen countertops, it has to be that, I don't know, epoxy, I think is the...
It's an epoxy that you can use on the countertops.
Yes, but you have to
You can use that on the floors too.
The same? Okay.
Yeah, if it's, say, a tile floor or something like that, ceramic tile, you can use epoxy on that. They use it all the time in the garages. You know, it's the same material.
Yes, okay, it is.
So yeah, it's very walkable. You can scuff it up and nothing will happen.
Really?
So, yeah. Oh yeah.
Because that was my concern. Because if you paint the floor in a bathroom, because again, in Detroit, Redford, those areas, they got those teeny tiny, although those are cute. When done right, and it matches, but sometimes, you know, you got the black dots and that's not your color, or you got the red dots and that's not your color on that floor, and so to paint that over, and that's not your color. Painting that over, I've always had a concern of it scuffing up, but you're saying it won't.
Well, not with the epoxy.
Okay.
So with the epoxy, you can do a whole multitude of things.
Okay.
To the floors and to countertops, things that will be normally, you know, off limits.
Okay.
To paint, you can use epoxy. Epoxy can take it all. If it can take a car coming in to the garage and everything else,
I didn't think about
epoxy works well.
Okay, I did not know.
You might need some help with that one because it's very strong.
Okay.
But yeah, epoxy will work.
That is exceptional to know. So I've seen it where people painted in the bathrooms. Didn't use the right material, and so you can see where it starts to peel.
Yes, exactly.
And then once it starts to do that, I don't know if there's a good fix for it. Maybe there is, but
take it all off and start again.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is that to try to patch it, unless it's in a space you can't see. But yeah, it starts to look bad, and then it does have to be the right materials, because I've seen people just use regular paint, and and they
have to have a sealant. So it's a lot of different steps.
Yeah.
And if they miss any step, it's a wrap.
Yes, because I've seen the epoxy on countertops done wrong.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. Because then they bubble at the end, and then where it overlaps, and they didn't kind of smooth that out. And I've seen it done badly, and then I've seen it where it's the wrong material. You can tell.
And
it's
you have to know
epoxy.
It's a temporary fix.
Temporary,
so,
just to look.
You know, just until you can afford the quartz or the whatever you want, the marble or the granite. Whatever, you know, so it's a temporary fix. It shouldn't last forever like the granite and the marble and the quartz or whatever you're using, but it could work for a little while.
Now, you know what I saw last year? No, last year, year before, I've been seeing a lot. The backsplash tile that's actually not tile but peel and stick.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
They actually sell at the dollar store.
Oh yeah, I've seen that too. I've seen that.
And because I saw a woman, she was there looking for some more because she ran out.
Okay.
And so she was like, "This is the third dollar store I've been to," and I thought, "Wow."
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I thought.
You need to get it all, or you can order it online. So
yeah,
you can do that too.
I have a.
But yeah, I mean, if you're in a financial bind and you just need to do it, it'll like I said, temporary fix.
Temporary.
Yeah, temporary fix.
Temporary.
So now when it comes to, you're trying to renovate your home, then you need to think about some stuff. Yeah. Because you don't want to have to do something else in 2 years.
Right. Right.
So it'll only be temporary. And then you need to think about lighting and stuff like that. When I go into a home, that's like the first thing I look at is the lighting. If they have what do they call them, boob lighting, that's the really inexpensive, and it's shaped like this and has a little button at the bottom.
Construction grade.
Yeah, construction
Contractor
grade. Yeah.
They buy
So
them up,
those
pack them.
they have to go, because that just shows that nobody even cared. It was like, okay. So when you're coming in, when you're ready to, you know, change out some things, look at the lighting. Purchase your lighting. Make sure the floors are good, whether it be carpet or flooring or whatever you use. And then go from there and go to the window treatments, and then just take your time. I found that people just want to do everything at once, and then they don't do the right things first.
Gotcha.
So they're like, oh, the light is fine. No, the light's not fine, because that makes all the difference in the world.
It does.
It does. It's like you can tell, okay, this apartment has always had these lightings, and it's in everybody's apartment. But when you go into an apartment or a temporary space, whatever the space is, and you change out the lighting, and it's not the manufacturer grade, then it changes everything.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can find some good lighting for under $200 sometimes.
Yeah,
if you shop online.
Yeah.
So it'll make a big difference. That's a big statement. The lighting.
I have a client of mine. She had her home built. It's her dream home. This is many years ago, 5, 6, 7. I don't know. It's been a while. But she had a home built, and so they gave her an allowance to pick out her own lighting. Of course, she went over that, and so I had to put in the extra money. She shopped for months and months and months to find all these unique light pieces.
Oh, wow.
Some I had never seen before.
Wow.
The one that I thought was marvelous that she put in her bedroom, it was a circle, but when you turn the light on, in the secondary switch, it went around and then it opened up to a fan. A ceiling fan.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That was nice.
Yes.
I haven't seen that one. Wow.
Beautiful. And so I thought, she said, I got to show you this, because after she moved in and got all the stuff, and I came over and I saw that light, and I thought, oh my God. So
But see, she was smart. She did all that first.
Gosh.
Yeah. She knew.
You'd probably love her. Because her mindset, that she
went in and did that.
For all her pieces.
That's great. She knew what to get first, though.
Every light fixture in that home, she handpicked specialty for what she had in mind for that particular room. And it all flows through the house, though. It's not all eclectic. But I was astonished, because I thought, wow, I never would have even thought about this.
And it makes it feel like you don't need a lot of stuff. You know, it really just like, wow, you walk in and you have the wow factor. Yeah. And that's what you're trying to achieve.
Yes.
So with the wow factor coming from the lighting, it's like, that's everything. Everything.
So just like a few signature pieces that's like, bam, in your face.
Yes.
And you're like, wow. And I do know that will draw the eye, and you won't really notice a whole lot else unless you're really just looking, or if you're like me, I look at everything. But the average person, you know, they see that, and it just calls to you. It makes you feel like, wow,
exactly.
This is really nice.
Yes.
So, but yeah, some people have that eye and some people don't.
And I mean, but long as you know the process, you know to look for lighting first, and to know the process it means everything too, because like when I came into this condo, that was the first thing I did, was change out all the lighting. Okay. Period. It was like, okay, so you do that, you change the window treatments, and the rest of it just falls into place. Okay. It's like, okay, you know, just keep it. If you stay in the neutrals, even if you don't, you know, if you have a place and you love blue, then you know you're gonna get some kind of blue window treatments up to the windows and all that. But just know that the lighting, you start there. Okay. And the floors. Okay. The floor and the ceiling.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's a sandwich. So the type of bread that you use makes a difference. Yes. You know, a brioche roll versus just, you know, a marble rye. Yes. It's different than just Wonder bread. I guess that proves it right there.
That's exactly right.
There, Wonder bread.
Brioche or Wonder.
Exactly. It makes a whole lot of sense.
Yes.
So I think that's probably a good amount of information. Okay. So keep it simple. You know, have that signature piece. Start at the top, go to the bottom. Work on the middle as you go along, but
make sure everything is functional. That's important. these days we're going back to functional, not just tchotchkes everywhere for nothing.
Right.
Just don't do that.
Right.
Just make sure that it makes sense.
Right. Declutter.
Declutter.
For sure. And get rid of all of the dust collectors.
And excess is a sin. That's just wrong.
Yeah.
There's no need to have extra stuff.
See, I'm the type of person, I think more is more, and I love it. But that's in certain cases. But in some cases, less actually is more.
Less is more, especially if you're selling, just in living. I mean, you need to feel like it's decluttered and clear of extra.
Right.
It's not, it doesn't feel as good.
Right.
And I'm all about, the atmosphere and how it feels. You want to feel like, wow, I'm so glad to be home.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that this is my space, and it needs to, justify, signify you, who you are. And
so I guess if you go into somebody's home and it's really eclectic and it's a mess and it's over cluttered with stuff all over the place,
that's how they
probably need a vacation.
They operate that way.
They probably need a vacation.
Yes.
So I think I need a vacation. I really do. I need a vacation. Been locked down for 2 years. So if you can do all that and remember the process, if not, you might want to call Stacy. If you're looking at selling and you wanted some tips and ideas of what to do for consultation, if you don't want to do it yourself, that would be me. Then just say, hey, what can you do? Come and do it. And the same thing on the buy side. You're looking to buy a home and you get in there and you're like, first home, don't know what to do, or your last home, I didn't know what to do then either, and you kind of want some help figuring things out, then you can call Stacy. So
sure can. I'm right here.
You sure can. And I'll have all her information in the description section.
Okay.
And let you know how to reach her. And as always, if you have any questions, I didn't answer anything for you, please reach out in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, and notify. Click that button so you'll be notified of new upcoming videos, which are every Sunday at 7. So thanks again for joining us, and I want to thank Stacy for opening her home to us.
Thank you for this time, Edna. Appreciate that.
It's been more than a pleasure. So again, thanks again for joining, and we will see you next week.
Have a great one, everybody.
Bye-bye.